Hello and welcome to the fourth part of Upgrade Time. So I did not have a lot of time this week to work on the project, and I was a bit busy this weekend as well, so I'm just going to do something relatively simple and visual, I hope. So I'm going to basically show you how it appears in the game, and then I'll just quickly explain how it was done. So nothing incredible, but it should look nice. So we are exactly at the same stage as last time, with the same level, but there have been some change in the graphics. So this road has been a bit upgraded, with some hints of what happens when you move forward. So with the door, the gate on the closed area, the pit on the tree, that you can see a bit closer here. A hint of the greenhouse, which is farther down the road, even more zoomed. Now we are in it. I take the silver knife because I need it a bit later. So this one still needs to be fixed. And now we are in the Sun Lounge, which has a new picture associated to it. So, and you can see there is some continuity between the pictures. Then now there is a new picture for the narrow passage, which in the previous graphics it was not actually correct, because I did not know where it was exactly. So it looked like that, like some small street, which obviously is not correct because it's in the house itself. So the library itself is still the same mess of pixels, but the big change is on the entrance hall. So in the quick draw video, you see how I was doing that. So I completed it a bit because last week it was not actually correctly converted. And now we have a dog. You are in an imposing entrance hall. I can see an Alsatian growling at you. So I'm going to get rid of it because, well, we can't move anywhere else until the dog is there. So throw knife. And the poor dog is now dead. Get dog. And it's gone. It is now in my inventory. So our knife is on the ground. If you need later, remember to take it. And so I completed this picture as well, now with some gradients and trying to not make it too symmetrical. This picture did not change, but another place of interest is that one, which I did not do, but this must be the master bedroom. I can see a dog asleep on the bed. And the idea is to do the same thing to this criminal on the bed as what I did on the dog. So to get some animation. And really, that's the only thing I did on the game, except some very minor typos fix. And in this room, I can see a printed note. Get note, read note. It says, for the best computer game, Severn Software, School Crescent, lead neighbor. What are you going to do now? So that's it for the change in the game. So now I'm going to show you, or actually I can show you, I'm not sure if I showed last time. Yeah, so we have the nice shower room. So the actual change in this version, so I guess I can show the updated game map. So with updated pictures. So there's still a bunch of them to do, including that one, which is not correct because it's supposed to be at the south of that one. And I'd like to get all the pictures with a consistent logical layout, which basically that one is wrong. It should have been like rotating, but since it's just up down, it does not really matter. The game does not imply anything about the direction. So how did the dog thing work? Well, we have the imposing entrance hole, the imposing entrance hole with dog dead, and the imposing entrance hole with dog growling. And what I did is that I added these three pictures. So the original one is called 24, and the two other are called 240 and 241. Obviously, they are added to the batch file to generate the data. The trick is I basically modified what we did last time. Last time what we did was to take A, which is a room number, convert it to a string, search it on disk. If found, load it, else load some placeholder picture. So because I did not have more room, I did a small change with renaming the number. So now what it does is that it initializes the same thing with the number, but if we are in the room 24, which we know to be the imposing entrance hole, and if the dog is in the same room, then we create an alternate name, which is 24 plus the stringified version of the variable AV. And AV is what is used here. If it's equal to 1, it means the dog is alive and it's growling at you. If it's equal to 0, then it's dead. So that's the body. So basically I use the constant of the variable to create 24.0 or 24.1, and the rest of the code is the same. Now, why did I move that? Is because if you only did the change here, the picture did not update when actually killing the dog or fetching it from the ground. So I added it in a sub function, 8800, which returns there, and the 8900 goes up here and then returns. And this goes up 8800 I was able to add in other places, which is there, as you can see, which is when we actually get the dog from the ground, and here when we kill it. And that's it. There's no other change for drawing this animated picture. There is some other change in the code, but here, if you see, it's just added code, which was missing. The basic does not care, but it was breaking the syntax coloring of my editor, which was annoying. Here, it's mostly I remove some additional prints because when I show you the note earlier, it fits on the screen, but with this additional print, it's actually scrolling up, and you're missing most of the start of the text, which is a bit messy. So same thing here, missing double quote. The annoying typo, the plastic bag, which I fixed to plastic bag. And here I just commented out 15 prints, which basically were scrolling to do some dramatic effect when you get killed, either by the dog or the criminals or whatever else dangerous things you can do in the game. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess I could show. Not interesting. Not interesting. That one did not change much. Yeah, so here we can see the small change between and after the picture between last week. That one is just pre-converted. So yeah, before, after, nothing to do. Lawn tennis court converted. The sweeping staircase, the only change really is that I fixed the remaining colors which were creating all of these dirty pixels last time. It was confusing the conversion tool. I added the carpet and I fixed the messy lines there. It looks very bad. I completed the shading here and there, and I tried to get a consistent light direction always coming from the left or top left, which is why we have the shadow here. It just helps having a bit of depth, even if it's artificial. The long stretch of road, so same thing. All there is a bit of tweaking on the curve, which is still ugly, but it's getting there. So the narrow passage, as I said earlier. The game room. I'm probably going to add some other details, but the first batch. On the narrow path, the only difference is I added the tiny greenhouse out there. So there you get it. So it's going to be all uploaded on the SVN server, so you can check in the description. The 3 previous episodes are also there. So I guess we are good to go for this week. So I hope you enjoyed it, and don't hesitate to ask questions on the forum or on the video itself. Thanks a lot.